Uh, Not getting any sleep. What is this? Episode 7 of Arfin Talks? I think so. That's cool. I was born on the 7th. When you hate your job, I mean, you hate your job, it's uninspiring. It goes without saying. But people stuck in work they don't like just doesn't, uh, just doesn't get them excited in any way. It doesn't get them thinking about things. It's just something you show up and do because you know how, and that's basically it. There's a fine line you draw where it's like, what should you do for money? How far do you push the whole money thing? Like, I've gone back to umpiring Little League Baseball after taking 9 years off of it because I was just playing poker. I didn't feel like working on anything else, but once I stopped playing, I just trying to stay busy and just make money at other things I can do. And umpiring is cool. It's a way to stay in baseball. I love baseball, but it's doing these tiny kid games, little kids. It's just not too exciting. I mean, it's these games I've been doing lately. I'm not even. They don't need an umpire, and that's what's the most uninspiring thing about it. So you got these little tiny kids. They're all 8 years old or under. Some of them are like 7 or even 6. I think I even heard some of them were 5. And I'm not wearing any equipment. The coaches are doing all the pitching. There's no walks. It's just 5 pitches per batter or 3 swings. Some of them don't even know how to swing. They're swinging just like this. Like they're not taking like a full swing. They don't know what to do. A lot of them throw like this. It's and there I am standing next to the plate, like dressed like full professional, shirt tucked in, hat and like ball bag, and it's like, what am I doing here? The games go by fast because you don't have all this hemming and hawing between at bats and everything. It's an instructional league. You got coaches standing out in the field. I mean, this is why you don't need an umpire. So you're asking, why are we there? We're there because if the coaches and adults tried to do their own umpiring, they would still end up splitting hairs over too many close calls and getting into fights. And it would just be too chaotic. So we're not really babysitting the kids. We're actually babysitting the adults. That's why they have an umpire. They need someone to be objective, who they know is going to be objective, because they're all going to accuse each other of giving calls to each other. Meanwhile, the league doesn't even have standings. They don't even track wins and losses. They keep score during the game. They keep asking me what's the score. The coaches are so vested in winning the game. Meanwhile, they don't even know the score. Are you beginning to understand why this is not inspiring? I mean, it's so easy. Half the kids who make contact, they don't hit the ball more than like 20 feet in front of them right back to the pitcher, even though all the infielders are playing at like normal depth, like a real baseball game. One game I did the other day, there was not a put out in the field until the 5th inning. Every out was a strikeout until the 5th inning. They finally got an out on the bases at first base. And the field is 1 mile from my house. And, it's not like, I'm not ready to retire because of umpiring these games, but it's such easy money. You feel like you should do it. But like, I'm out there at 8 in the morning to do this. It's like, if I don't need it, then if you don't need, the work you're doing, then what are you doing it for? Now, it's a fine line. You draw the line. It's like, how do you determine like what you need? You know, it's just like you only need money because of the things you want. If you didn't want those things, you wouldn't need money. If you didn't need a roof and a bed, you don't need money. Just go live in the woods. You don't need any money. You need a few other things to survive, but you won't need money. So it's just kind of, you know, a lot of us get caught up in that fork in the road. It's like, what do I do? It's like, where do you draw the line between doing something because it's paying you enough, or just not doing it because you don't even care what it's worth? It's easy to not do something if it's not paying you anything, because, you know, the money you get, obviously the money helps you with so many things, but it's when you're making a decent amount, it's when you're making an amount of money you like for doing something that sucks is when it's really tricky. And, you know, when I came back to umpiring, I mean, I told myself I'm not interested in doing these little kids. But, you know, the scheduler was telling me, he's like, this is the easiest money you've ever made. He's like, you're going to be standing out there thinking, like, I'm getting paid to do this. And he's right. That is what I was doing. Yeah. You know, I like being on a baseball field. So, you know, if they keep offering them to me, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep doing them. But they do 6 of those games a day. And I was out there for all 6 of them one day, 8 a.m. till like 4:45 in the afternoon. And it's you want to get the hell out of there after a while. So. It can be a tough decision, but if your work's not inspiring you, it just carries over into all the rest of your life, you know? And everything is just lifeless, you know? It's not just the time you spend doing there, it's like it's everything. You know, if you're building your life around uninspiring work, it's like how much inspiration is going on otherwise. But the uninspiring work did at least inspire me to make the video, so I guess I shouldn't say it's completely uninspiring, but I think you know what I mean. So, think about it.